Hyundai Santa Fe 2019. This is a follow-up video on the ignition removal. I took you step by step, showed you how to release the terminals from it. It was only 3 of them. They each came off fairly easy. The only one gave me the hard time is this blue one. And the reason why is in order to get the blue one off, the tab was actually on top. This is bottom and then the top. So I had a wedge, a screwdriver on top, press it and slide it out. So that's the only one that gave me a hard time. But other than that, let's have a look at this, shall we? Let's get this on the ground. And I know I shouldn't be out here because vehicles and construction area and high traffic. Here it is on the ground. There's the ignition. And this is what it's going to look like when you take it out. There's that jumping up and down pit. I don't want to touch it. It's all greasy. Just turn it upside down. And this is what it looks like. All right, now there's that pin I was telling you to push. So if you stick the key in the ignition and you turn it into the on position, you push that pin and the whole sleeve slides out. But then because they try to steal it, you can't get your key in there, let alone to turn it on the on position. So you have to remove this whole piece. I thought that maybe I would find a serial number on here. Oh, I did. Check it out. So let's see if I could zoom in on this and hold the camera there as long as humanly possible with a steady hand after 10 cups of coffee. Here I go. And it's not gonna let me. So I'm gonna try to bend the light a little to see. It says Kia. I'm gonna read the numbers off to you, okay? So you could type this in. Okay, the numbers, it says, I do believe that's an, oh, I'm having trouble reading these letters. Okay, I could get a better, clearer image up here than I did when it was on the ground. And those letters are HC PA66-GF30. It says Honda and Kia on it. I'm trying really hard here to hold this camera steady for you. That serial number is not going to be for your ignition paste on the inside. It's for the outside kit. But there's also a 911-0. I don't see any other numbers except, 911-2. That's interesting. So this is what we got, and that's the ignition. Let's have a look at this. Gee, that looks really bad now, huh? Looks like a Frankenstein. So that's what the ignition piece looks like. Time to take this to the locksmith and save some money. I hope they don't put us, well, first go to your Hyundai dealer, then you go to a locksmith. But remember, don't give up your if you're in the process of payments of your vehicle. If you're in, well, you should have insurance on your vehicle, but let's say you do not and you're in a situation you're making payments, I don't know how, in some way, shape or form. Don't give up your registration, don't give up your title, don't tell them the title of your car, just tell them you just need the part. If they can't help you at a dealership, take it to a locksmith. All right. So the tools that I needed a little bit of needle noses. I used a little Phillips flathead little kit that had little sockets on it. I thought I could use something like that. I definitely needed a hammer, and I needed a screwdriver to wedge to hit. So it looks like just a screwdriver, a hammer, some needle noses, and a Phillips screwdriver, small bits. And some of these bits that you get on here, and I'm going to tell you a little technique I did. I was trying to remove these top screws, which you do not need to. While it was installed on the ignition part, I put the Phillips would not fit in there, so I put a bit on there. So as soon as I got the bit in place, like that, I use those needle noses pliers and I gripped it and I rotate it. In other words, pretend my fingers are the pliers or the crescent wrench. I put the bit on there just like what you see, and you got to hold it with your right hand if you're right-handed. And with my left hand, I use the pliers and I grabbed it, pinched it, and then I rotate it. Well, it's actually left loose, so counterclockwise. And that's how I was able to remove the screws. You shouldn't have to remove these screws. It has not. That's only for the other. When you get your new parts, I'm guessing if you have to disassemble it. But that's a technique. You just put the bit on and use your pliers and rotate it, because the screwdriver won't fit long-wise, the length of it. Those are just little ideas for you. Well, what did you think? Pretty cool? Do you see I was telling you how that locks the steering wheel when you put the key in? Pretty neat. For 2019, you really don't see videos like this out there. I guess I'm one of the first. Break it down. We'll see you in the next video if I have to program this, and we'll go step by step with that. See you then.